Hello, Libra. Welcome to your December 1st through 15th solar session. I am Marlo. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and what's not all the time, you know what I'm saying? If you're interested in the second half of this reading, which is the 15th through the 31st, and I think, I have to do the yearly soul scopes and things of the sort. And if you want to review your one from last year, I'm gonna put all that in the description box below this video. But anywho, moving right along. First two cards out. Your first card, we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. Then we have the Magician. So what it's looking like coming out of November and into December, my wonderful Libra. It's looking like you guys are feeling kind of stuck to your past. It's, I don't want to necessarily say, I want to look at it this way. It's like a completion of a cycle. You guys have the opportunity to move forward, to channel your energy elsewhere. But I feel that there's more or less a tie to the past, to where you guys, like, this opportunity is available to you, but I feel that it's kind of like willful blindness, if I could say it that way. It's like, and it kind of reminds me of what I felt for Capricorn as well. If you have that in your chart, definitely check it out. But it feels more or less like you have an opportunity to go in a direction that's expansive, but where you've been up to this point has been rather limiting, keeps you in a box a tad bit. But I feel there's some fear that's involved with this movement forward. It's I don't even want to say like a fear of like success or anything. It could be more of a fear of the unknown, or it could just literally be you guys coming to a place where there's a level of comfort with where it is that you are in life at present. So there is an opportunity to kind of shift gears to get out of where you guys are, but it's willfully not wanting to see the opportunity to do so. But with this Magician, which is Aries energy that came out right after that, that's saying to me that you guys possess the power, the ability, the know-how, the wherewithal in order to partake in this new journey. But I feel it's very much a certain level of fear involved and comfortability, in the sense that it may be kind of afraid to rock the boat, if I could say it that way, Libra. Like, knowing that if you were to pursue this particular venture, if you will, or path, that it would require you to leave something or someone behind, or it would kind of upset the apple cart in a sense. But the thing that's imperative for you guys to know first week of December is knowing that you guys possess the power within you. So if there is any like bit of self-doubt or anything like that coming up for you guys in reference to this is pretty much stating that you guys have the power to do so. And there's elements of this with innovation and trailblazing as well. So I don't know what we're talking about, Libra. Y'all got to tell me in the comments. It feels kind of like say if you were working at a job, and this particular position that you have a specialization that a lot of people don't have in that particular position. It's almost like an opportunity to where you can kind of tread a new path that doesn't exist, to where like it could be like a new department, or like a new job title or something along those lines. But it's almost like I'm picking up, and this is just what I'm picking up intuitively, it's almost like a perceived inadequacy or something like that Libra is dealing with, where it's like you're not even entertaining the idea of the possibility of this because there's some perceived inadequacy. However, this Magician is saying that you aren't inadequate at all. Like, you have everything that you need to do whatever it is that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Next card, we have the Six of Cups in the reverse. That would explain why. So also in the first week of December, what you guys are going to be confronting. So of course, what I've been telling everyone, all the signs prior to you guys, it's like this holding pattern everyone is in the first 2 weeks of December. And this has a great deal to do with an epic karmic cycle wrapping up. So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, And within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. Prior to us going into 2023, which is going to be a very karmic year, but there's this whole element of us like facing the person in the mirror, and whatever repeated pattern we have encountered repeatedly. I hate how that just came out of my mouth. It's very redundant. But anyway, but whatever repeated pattern we've seen consistently in the year of 2022, it's imperative for us going into this next year that we're consciously aware of it so that we have dominion over it. And what I'm seeing for my Libras with the Six of Cups being here, it's more or less a perspective that you guys have carried with you from the past, and this feels more distant past to me. So I feel more or less how this distant past thing has been confronted in 2022, has been through your experiences in 2022. And there's some work involved. And just like I told every other sign prior to you, it's a like a little mini course that I'm working on. And it's like stuff we do on the network, but it's a mini course that I'm working on to help everyone like towards the end of the year to like do like a self audit and to, you know, create like a timeline and all of the things for this entire year to help you going into 2023 so you're equipped, because that's the channeled message that I got yesterday that's very important, is that we're going forward into 2023 with a strategy. So it's a need to do a self audit to get really clear on, you know, what really needs to be done instead of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, if you will. But I feel with whatever this is that's like past tense for you guys, I feel with this work that you're doing, this fear that's coming up or what have you, is how this is confronted. Because it feels more or less to me kind of like if there was a person past tense who like spoke something over your life where, you know, people like us don't make money, or you're not smart enough for that, or whatever the case. And I feel that that's something subconsciously, like a false core belief that my Libras have been holding on to. And there's another element of this where there's a lack thereof of self-forgiveness too, because it's kind of like, that's interesting. It's almost like how Libra is holding themselves accountable is by limiting what's possible for you. So there's like a pervasive pattern of this. Like there's several opportunities that have been offered to you throughout the course of your life to do things, like I say, this whole innovation thing, because you're equipped for it. But it's almost like because Libra isn't forgiving themselves for something that you feel you failed at, or something that transpired in the past that you may feel shame or guilt about, or something like that. It's like it's almost like giving yourself, it feels very Catholic to me. I was raised Catholic. Yeah, it feels very Catholic to me, where it's almost like you're like punishing yourself in a sense. It's like, it's very like aestheticism based. Like, you know, I'm not eating, you know, I won't allow myself to sleep on a bed because of the horrible things that I've done. But it's holding yourself back from progressing because it's some level of feeling undeserving of it. And it's almost like that's how you're holding yourself accountable, is by limiting your success. But the whole key is here, it's like I can understand that logic. I mean, like if I literally put my therapist hat on, it's like I can understand that line of thinking. It makes sense, you know, but it's just not conducive to progress. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand in theory how a thought form like that can create itself, but it's just not conducive to progress, because if we bring in, you know, the etheric side of this, there's not a need for you to hold yourself accountable past the consequence for what it is that one has done. Is that nihilism? I think that's nihilism. Like, it's like the energy I'm picking up on it. It feels like a very nihilistic perspective on life where, and I'm always intrigued by that when people, and then you're an air sign, Libra, what's popping? But I always find that fascinating whenever someone is so invested in something to where like pervasive suffering, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like I ran that dog over 20 years ago, and that family was without a dog, that poor kid. I'm a horrible person, and I need to hold myself accountable for this thing that I did 20 years ago. And like for 20 years, it's holding on to that energy and keeping it fresh, and not allowing yourself to be happy, never allowing yourself to get a dog because I don't deserve that because I unalived a dog 20 years ago type of thing. I'm always fascinated by that because I find as a Taurus, I'm kind of lazy in my self-deprecation. So I feel it takes a great deal of commitment. You're my Venetian brethren and sister and all, but I feel that takes a great deal of commitment even to hold on to like unforgiveness for yourself and holding yourself accountable, because I'm literally too lazy. You know what I'm saying? But still in all, it's like that's not something that's going to help you progress forward. It's going to forever keep you here. And why this is so important with all of these things coming up, Libra, for you as well as everyone else in the collective, is we have the opportunity leaving out of 2022 to seal our own fate. And that's why all of these soul sessions are coming up this way. And I don't think that anyone wants to seal that fate. Like I've been talking about the crossroads all year, and the decision that everyone needs to make to either leave their past behind or, to move towards their future. You know what I'm saying? And this is literally like, sealing your fate in so many words. So I don't want to freak anyone out, but it's legit an energy that I don't think anybody really want to play with, child. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that you'd really be held accountable for. Because it would be like, hey, if you want to, it even makes me think of a scripture. I think it's so funny. Scriptures keep coming up, but you live by the law, you die by the law type of thing. It's like, if you want to choose to punish yourself, then spirit will leave you to your own devices and allow you to do that. But it's like, it's kind of period at the end of the sentence. And I don't think anybody wants that. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, going into your second week of December, next card that we have is the Hierophant. I like that. That's my Religion of One card. Next, we have the 10 of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the 6 of Wands. So this is your solution. So going into the second week of December, my wonderful Libras, the thing that's important here, like when I say Religion of One, it's kind of like you being your own priest. It's like you creating your own belief system and ethos on life that is not in alignment with anyone else's values, but that's 110% in alignment with, built upon, and in reflection of your own personal core values, which is actually something I'm not going to include it in that course because that would be like so kind of off kilter. Well, then again, I probably could. I don't know. Most of you guys who are on the network, you guys have done the core values assessment. That's actually a whole nother course. I don't know. We'll look into it. But until then, try to, you can Google it, find out what your core values are, because that's how you create your proverbial, cult of one. You know what I'm saying? Is when you build a life in reflection to what your core values are, and your core values are that foundation, right? So with this 10 of Wands in the reverse, is giving you an opportunity in the second week to relinquish all of the burdens that are related to your past or other people's opinions about who and how you should be. You know what I'm saying? Because if we speak about it in the sense of like ethereal truth, like golden thread, like higher consciousness perspective and things of the sort, it's ascending past the limitations of sensory consciousness. And sensory consciousness is what limits us. I don't know if I said that's Taurus energy, but anyway, but sensory consciousness is what limits us to, thought forms like this, to where it's like, I unalived a dog 20 years ago and I have to hold myself accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what sensory consciousness is. But it's more or less like carrying these burdens of the conditioned mindset is what has been plaguing you guys up to this point. So you're being offered an opportunity in the first 2 weeks to relinquish those burdens and to only embrace your own core values, right? So it's kind of like a purge. And with the Six of Wands, of course, that puts you guys into a position of power to where you're able to enter the latter part of this month. And I look forward to seeing what that looks like. You can find that also in the description box below. It's on all my membership platforms. But anyway, but the dope thing about this is going to be you guys going into the latter part of the month in a position of power and feeling liberated, right? Because the only thing that you owe to life is for you to live in accordance with your values, because you are the most important thing about your life. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, at the bottom of you guys' deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Of course, this is in the position of why all of this is happening. And it's because things have been slipping through the cracks, Libra. I look at the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse as my sloppy craftsmanship card. You know what I'm saying? When you're not really fully invested into something and putting your heart and soul into it, right? So I feel the reason why that's happening is because whatever it is you guys are fraternizing with, what this is speaking to, because I think it's interesting, this is vastly general. On a soul level, you know that it isn't in alignment with you. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that your heart is really in, whatever it is that you guys are investing in. And I feel like that's starting to show. But I feel like that was kind of like the first crack in the, I don't know what that term is, crack in something. Like when you started to see like this was the first crack in whatever that colloquialism is, to give you insight into the fact that, it's like a paper mache kind of life. Like it's not, whatever it is you guys are fraternizing with isn't truly in alignment with you or how you've been approaching things or what you're doing. Because whether it's talking about a job or what have you, a relationship, whatever the case, right? It's like you're a lot more powerful than you think you are, but the only person who's been keeping you imprisoned has been yourself, right? And the way out of this is literally by uncovering what your core values are, right? And living in accordance with them, because you're always going to continuously feel out of alignment with yourself when you aren't honoring those. So I just feel you guys have kind of been in this pattern for so long that it's starting to show in things that you're fraternizing with, where the time, energy, and effort that you're putting into work that you're doing, it's like subpar, if I could be honest. It's like it's subpar. It's not A1. It's not, top tier level of what it could be with you operating out of the magician energy. And it's because what it is you guys are fraternizing with isn't truly in alignment with you. And I feel a great deal for a lot of you that this is speaking to like a career change. It feels like a big shift in career to where what it is that you're doing, it's not like you're bad at it. You're just not passionate about it. And it felt like it feels almost like, you did it because you should, ought, or supposed to type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like you became an attorney when your true desire was really to be like a writer or something. I don't know. It feels like it's something on two different sides of the Likert scale. And even though you have an opportunity, because I don't really feel this as someone where if you were to leave all of this behind, like, you're talking about like leaving your whole family or something like the Buddha to go on this whole journey. It doesn't feel like that. Like it feels like a simple pivot that you all could do, not to where it would cause you to be in financial turmoil or anything of the sort. But it's just, like I said, this old mindset that says, oh, like you can't make money doing things that you love or being creative, and the only reason why you're not doing it is because of an old mindset like this. So all of this is really saying in the first 2 weeks, what you guys are really confronting is unearthing your core values and you getting to the heart of the matter of knowing that you can actually have what you want and be happy and be successful at the same damn time. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, Libra, that has been your soul session for the 1st through the 15th of December. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, you know I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.